Hello everyone, this is Helen H and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope you're all doing well today. I am going to be showing you how I actually did my own scribbly doodle flowers. And this was totally an inspiration by a lady named Allison Darrant. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but her channel and her inspiration video will be linked below. Guys, if you like to watercolor, you need to check out her channel. She is amazing. I've been binge watching a lot of her lately. But anyway, I want to just show you real quick some of the little flowers that I've been making. Unfortunately, I would have more for you, but I don't have any more of the paper to make them on here at the cabin. So I've got kind of different styles. I've got some with more rounded edges. This one I outlined in gold. This one I did in black and added some spots. This one I did with thick black lines, like outlining them. These are super easy to make, guys. Anybody can make these. And then this one has kind of pointed leaves, and I did some black scribbly in it. And then these are my absolute favorites right here. And these are like scribbly, can you see there are flowers with like the scribbly lines on them, and that even go outside where the paint mark is. And I just love these so much. And I think in this video that I'm going to link below, but you can certainly, you know, like I said, I encourage you to watch Allison's channel. She tells you to, when you're drawing these things in, if you do them over and over and do enough of them, you're going to figure out what you like the best. Well, I only did, let's see, 12, no, I only actually scribbled in these 6, and I can tell you that this scribbly is my favorite way to go right now. So anyway, I have a piece of mixed media paper from my art journal. It even has something on the back. It doesn't matter, because when you cut these out, you know, the point is to use them in a journal, you know, on a page, so it doesn't matter what's on the back, right? So use either mixed media paper or watercolor paper, because we are using watercolors. So I just have a little Dollar Tree palette here, and I squeezed out a couple colors. These are the cheap watercolors I have. They're Sargent Art watercolor. It says professional quality. That is so not true. Anyway, they were only $4.99. So here's the colors. It does actually have some pretty good colors. It's got yellow ochre, burnt sienna, vermilion, carmine, so on and so forth. So anyway, it's got some good colors, and it does the job. These ones were all done using this, okay? You don't have to have expensive watercolor paints to do these little flowers here. So I've got my little palette. I squeezed out some of the liquid watercolor in there, and then I have an empty palette so I can do some mixing. That's something, if you're new to watercoloring, there's 2 kinds you can get. You can get the liquid, which are in the tubes like this, or you can get the dry little ones that are in the pans with the little pans of little cakes of watercolor in them. I have both. I actually prefer the pan kind, but this is what ended up in my cart, and so I have these. So you can use these. You just need a very little bit. See how little I squeezed out in here? Very little bit, and I won't even use all this. So when you use these liquid ones, let it dry in your palette. What you don't use, let it dry in your palette. And then when you go back to paint the next time, you've kind of got already a cake like the dried watercolor. So you just spritz it with water to reactivate it. And I think that one had 12 colors, so 2 little Dollar Tree. You get a pack of 6 of these for $1.25. 2 of these, you can squirt your colors in, let them dry out, and then you've got your palette, which I probably will do after this video. But I just kind of want to get on with it. Now I'm using a brush. This is not ideal. This is a IKEA paintbrush. I actually like IKEA's brushes. They come in sets with different types of brushes in them, And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they might be in the kids section, because I buy the rolls of paper for the kids set from the kids section. And I just love these mostly for mixed media. I don't have a big, round, puffy watercolor paintbrush, so I'm going to have to let this one work. So all we're going to do is actually make some, and I'm going to say blobs, on our paper. So I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of that paint, and I hope you can see this. I'm mixing it here to get it kind of watery. And all we're going to do is make some blobs. Now you can make them whatever shape you want. This is where you can just play and have fun. These ones that I did, all the ones that I've done previously had 5 leaves on them, but I know that Allison actually had 7 on hers. So I'm going to make ones that this time that are a little bit longer, and I'm just showing you how easy it is, okay? So you can go single color if you want. That's the single color right there. But the real fun with the watercolors is when you start mixing them. Now I have here, I think this is yellow chrome, and I'm just going to get a little bit of that yellow chrome and get that wet. And then while this is still wet, you can just kind of dip your paintbrush in there and dip it into the wet paint that's already there, and let the paint do its thing. See how it spread like that? That is so cool. And I think, like, in this one, you'll be able to see in some other ones how the colors just kind of go into each other. So let's go ahead and let's do a yellow chrome one. It might have a little bit of the red in it, but I don't know. And see, I'm just making blobs. I mean, I'm just making blobs. If you want to be more specific and you want to, you know, really shape your leaves because you want them to be, you know, that good, then go for it, right? Then go ahead and go for it. Now I'm going to have, in this yellow, I'm going to put a little bit of green. So I'm getting that nice and wet, and I'm just going to touch it in to my yellow and just let it do its thing. And if you get it outside, like, see right here, it's bleeding right here. I can just go ahead and take a cloth and kind of dab that off. But it's not really going to bother me because it's going to be sketchy. I'm going to cut around outside like this, you know, outside anyway. But if that really bothers you, you can dab it off with a dry cloth. Or you can also take, I'll see if it's going to work on this paper. This is not watercolor paper. You can take a very dry brush and kind of coax it to go away because it is watercolor. But see, this is not watercolor paper. On watercolor paper, it won't seep in so much. So I'm just making this worse. But if you do this on watercolor paper, you're kind of erasing it with the water, if that makes sense, because it is. See, I did kind of remove it there. So, you know, if you have an oops, don't get upset about it, right? Just gonna dab a little more green in there since it faded in and I took it out. So let's just do a couple more of these, and then I'm gonna show you how to do some sketching on them. So let's see what else I have here. Okay, so I have some yellow ochre. Oops, I just put it in the green. I didn't mean to do that. Well, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I have some yellow ochre, so I'm gonna use some of that. I actually like yellow ochre, especially for like grungy things. See how this paintbrush, it's very tapered and it's holding its shape. If you have a watercolor brush that is not so stiff, it will blob out and you won't have such specific leaves like this, like specific, I don't know what this shape is, but you know, like this. But I mean, it's not bad. It's something different, so I'm gonna go with it. And I'm gonna just put that one here and one here. Get that one a little bit darker. Okay, like that. So then I have some burnt sienna. So let's go ahead and put some, just put that in that yellow spot here. And let's just add some burnt sienna highlights to this. Make kind of a grungy flower. Okay. You know what? We can actually probably add a third color if we wanted. We could add something like maybe a dab of that red. You could add as many as you want. Just be careful, you know, that you're not going to end up making mud. You got to be careful unless that's the look you want. This one I kind of want grungy, so that's okay the way it is. So you see what I'm doing? I mean, this is super simple. I'm just taking a brush, and I really wish, I made these here. I don't know what paintbrush I used because I don't have, I'm looking at my paintbrushes here. I don't have a good watercolor brush here. Maybe I did use this one and just got a different result. I guess what I can do, let's try something else. Let's go ahead and let's try a green one. So I want to get nice and wet. I don't want to use that big blob there. That's just too much. So you just want to get it kind of in there and then add some water like that, okay? Take it from there and add water and make it like that. So let's go ahead and try to make something that's a little more not that shape, not the paintbrush shape. So I'm just gonna see what I'm doing, just super simple, right? Just going around like this and making some organic shaped leaves. Let's make them even a little bigger. Why not? Let's make this top leaf a little bigger too. Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and let's add some, I don't know, what is this? Let's add this. I think this is yellow ochre. And just add that into the center. Like that, just dotting it in. And then I will add a third color. I have some blue here. And I'm going to really water that down, and I'm just going to add a touch of blue in there and let that do its thing. Okay. Oh, that actually looks like peacock colors here. That's very interesting. I didn't intend for it to do that, but even the way it's kind of, the paint's kind of blooming out. Can you see? I just made peacock color, even though I didn't intend to. So these have got to dry really, really well before you are going to doodle on them. So I'm just going to put them to the side over here. And then here is one that I did yesterday, I believe, or the day before. And so what I did, now you're going to have to find what pens you like. Unfortunately, one of Allison's favorite pens she uses is from the Dollarama, which is in Canada, not the United States. So, you know, we don't have that. So you just decide the kind of pen you want to use and play around. You most likely are going to want a pen, though, that is waterproof. Because if you're adding glue to it to add to your page, or, you know, you're going to use other mediums on top of it, unless you're just doing like a card center and you know it's not going to get wet and you're just going to stick it right in the middle of the card, then it really wouldn't matter that much. But if you're going to use it in an art journal, oh, excuse me, an art journal or something like that, then you might want to make sure you're using a waterproof pen. Now for these guys here, I went through several pens, but I do two that I do like. Well, here's the Sharpie Fine right here. This one you can get at Dollar Tree. This one you can get at Dollar Tree. It is the Bic Gelosity. This is a 0.5 tip. The Sharpie pen does not say, but I know the package said fine. It is a very fine tip. I don't know if you can see the tip. But that's a very fine tip. And then this one is the one that I really like, which is the Uniball Micro by Faber-Castell. This is the one that I bought a whole bunch, a whole box from thrift shop or something. Now, I understand. Okay, I'm going to bring you in a little bit, if I can. I might have to move this around a little bit to get you in a little bit. I know, my hand is going to be in the way. I'm sorry, the camera's on the right and I'm right-handed. No, there's nothing I can do about that. If I put the camera on the other side, I can't see my monitor, so I can't tell if I'm in the screen or not. So, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to do some of these scratchy ones because this is really, really what I love. And I'll show you how to do it, and then we'll do some other ones. So really all you do is you kind of make, like, I don't know, some squiggly lines. You see that? I just came up, down, up, squiggled around, and came down. Okay? And I think, like Allison says in her video, the more you practice this, the more this is just going to become second nature to you. And I don't care if all of my color is in the black lines or not. I'm just doing this, okay? So you see how I did them way outside the lines even, right? So then all you do is you take your pen and you're just going to make some lines from top to bottom, bottom to top. Sometimes I go up and loop them around again, scribbling back and forth, you know, whatever look you like. Practice different ways so that you can see what really speaks to you. I don't know why these fun little scribbly ones are really speaking to me. I guess because they are so organic and they are obviously hand done. You know, this is ephemera I've made. It's not something I've purchased or anything because it's very imperfect. So you see how that is? I really love that look. Okay, and then obviously when you're done, you just cut them out. Okay, let's go ahead and do another one like that, and then we'll do some different ones. Okay, I think I'll do that same thing on this one down here. One of the things Allison points out, which is obvious, but if you're using different markers, you're going to have to be careful. Watch where you've gone because you don't want to drag your hand across and end up smearing it. Now, all I did on the stems was I just made a downward stroke, and you'll see this if you watch her video. You just make a downward stroke, and then you can connect the little leaves any way you want. Allison makes a little V like that between the leaves, and that worked for me. Now, some of them I had so close, like this leaf is so close to the stem, I didn't put a stem on the leaf because it's actually touching the stem of the flower, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Oh no, I was going to do this one down here. So I'm just going to come out, squiggle around, and make some marks here. And the more, with this, I actually think the more unintentional you are, the better it's going to turn out. My pen did skip a little bit, so I'm just going to go back and color that in. It doesn't make any difference. And now I'm going to come up here and come down and then squiggle around and come back down. And I need to practice this. I mean, I only just started doing this, but since I showed you the other video of how to do the watercolor paper with stamping your stamps on it, I wanted to do one that you can actually do with your own hand without. Now I'm just going to come back there. And, you know, I promised some that we could doodle ourselves. And when I go on the little retreat, gosh, let's see, what's today? Tomorrow, it's less than a week away. When you see this video, it will be less than a week away that I'm going on the retreat with my YouTube friends who I've never met in person. And I'm super excited to do that. We're very much looking forward to it. We know we are all compatible because, like I had said in my last video, we have Zoomed with each other for many months. Isn't that cute? I love it so much. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's use a different pen. Let's go ahead and use this Bic Gelosity. I think this came in a multi-pack at Dollar Tree, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and do this flower here. I actually like this one. It's very grungy. I think it's like blue with brown in it, maybe. And see how all of these have like different colors, and how the color dries it's really a cool technique. So on this one, let's just go ahead and outline them. I'm just going to outline them with circles. And we'll see what that looks like, and then we'll see if we like it, okay? So we just outlined it with circles, okay? Very plain, whatever. I don't like that. That's too simple for me. So what I would most likely do is just at least do another circle and have two circles and not have them meeting each other. You know, have the circles so that they are scribbly looking, doodly looking, more like that. Okay, now I like that a lot better. See how the circle, the lines are not touching each other. They're scribbly. So I like that look. Let's see, what else did I do? Okay, I did do a thick one. So maybe with this dark one here, what did I, let me see. I don't remember what I used. I have a feeling, though, it might have been just this Sharpie right here. This is just a regular, it says fine point. Might look at my point, it's fallen in there. And I think this one, I think I actually just went around and tried to stay with the shape of the flower, the petals, and I just kind of emulated right along the border of the flower petals. And this one I'm not that fond of, but I really encourage you to try different methods, because even though it's not my cup of tea, it might certainly be yours. And so I've got that so thick, I'm going to go ahead and make the things thick, the stem thick too. So there's one that's done really thick, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm more of a fan of this one right here. See how it's just more open than that. I'm not sure. This is so dark. This one was very light, so you can see the dark pen mark on it. This one, because it's so dark, I don't know, we can try. Let's just try like making some marks inside the petals and see if that shows up. It kind of does, but not that much. Okay, but, you know, play with it, right? Play with it. Okay, so this last one here, I do have some gold pens. I do not have my favorite gold pen here, which is also from the Dollar Tree, but I do have a gold Sharpie, and this actually might have been from the Dollar Tree. This is a Zebra Doodler. That's the name of the pen, and I think, yeah, this one will work well. I don't like those fat lines for these because they are doodle. For me, they're doodly. I like the more scribbly lines. I probably won't even use that one for anything. This one I will use, but I don't think I'll use that one. So let me just go ahead, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do maybe the two circles on this one with the gold. You can use silver. There's so many pretty metallic pens out there anymore. And I don't care if I go over the paint, like I said. That's fine. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do the line thing with this. I just love the look of it so much, I'm going for it. Okay. Oops, I didn't do the top leaf. Let me do the top petal. Let me get that one. Okay, so there's one done in gold. Okay, and I don't have my metallic watercolors here, but I would love to do these in metallics. I could see in Allison's video that she had made some of the paint splotches. You know, she had some of these with just the stem drawn in, but they were in beautiful metallic pinks and stuff. So I will do that when I get back to the other house where I have my metallic paints. So guys, that's how easy it is to make some really fun doodled flowers. I added some, this one I had done in the gold, that one I used this gold Sharpie, and you see the thicker outline, but then I took a white paint pen and made some white spots, and then I took the gold and did some gold spots. This one I put some black spots, obviously. So you can decorate them any way that you want. but I just wanted to show you that we can doodle. We can do this. This is not as hard as you may think. Hold on, I'm bringing you back out. No, wrong way, Helen. There we go. Too far. Okay, so it's not as hard as you think. The only thing I'm going to say, which is just like anything with art, the more you do and the more that you practice, A, the easier it will become, and B, the more you'll realize what your style, what your colors, what everything you like and what you don't like. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you to make some doodly flowers. Of course, you cut these out, and I did leave white, a little bit of white all the way around. You have to, because that stem is just too thin. There's no way you could cut that stem without, you know, cutting some white around it. So guys, that's it. That's what I have for you today. Please, please, please check out Allison's channel below. It's a rabbit hole. You're just gonna get lost in there. Like I said, I binge watched her the last couple of days. I've watched a lot of her videos, and they are very inspirational. So I hope this inspired you and you give it a go. Let me know if you are going to give it a go, or give it a go, and then let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I ask that you do. It helps for more people to see my videos. The more people are subscribed to a channel, the more people will see these videos. And guys, as always, until the next video, I hope you are all truly blessed. Bye-bye.